Hey guys, today is November the 13th. I am one day late, in case you guys didn't realize. Yesterday was November the 12th, which marked the 1 year anniversary of the PS5. So Sony, I'd like to formally apologize. I'm very sorry that I missed the birthday of your newest console. So, what are we waiting for? Are we blind? Deploy the birthday wishes! Hey guys, so it's been a year since the PlayStation 5 has come out, and a lot of big gaming and technology channels on YouTube are making their 1 year review of the PlayStation 5, so I thought, hey, might as well hop on the bandwagon and make one of my own. I do realize that a lot of people are still unable to get their hands on the PS5, especially now with COVID lockdown, I guess, and also because of scalpers and limited supply and Sony not manufacturing enough for whatever the reason is. So if you are trying to get your hands on one, I hope you get your hands on one, and I wish you all the best in trying to get one, I guess. Hopefully that one day everyone who wants one will be able to get one, and everyone can enjoy the new console. To be honest, I've only had mine for about 4 or 5 months maybe, and I played a lot of it when I first got it, but I've been playing it a lot less now. So this is more of my experience with it and using it for like 4 months, not so like the 1 year review. This is actually the first like major console that I owned. I started off, the first ever console I had was a PS2, and then since then I haven't really had a big console. So this is, I guess the Switch doesn't really count. It's more of like a handheld, I guess. And I played a lot of Nintendo growing up as a kid, but the PS5 was the first big console. I never had a PS4 or a 3 or an Xbox or anything like that, so PS5 is definitely the big boy flagship console, I guess you could say. Mostly being a PC person myself. And to be honest, it's really good. Like, this is what, I can't get enough of this. Like, you pick up the controller and you press the home button, and it just turns on. Just like that, like the console will launch. When I first got it was a bit loud. I don't know if you can even hear it, but sometimes it sounds like a jet plane taking off. Yeah, not sure if you can hear that at all, but like, it's cool. Sometimes I just get out of bed, I press the PlayStation button, pick up the controller, and then it's on, like that. 10 seconds, and bam, I'm on the home screen. And then I launch whatever game I want to play, and you know, I'm in like under a minute. I think that's the number one thing with the PS5 is like lightning fast speed. Let me show you guys. The screen is on at the moment. This is our Final Fantasy 7, and just like that, bam, I'm in game and I'm playing. Like, there's no delay, no waiting. The loading screen is lightning fast.
That's thunder out here? Hell yeah! You see the damage that did? Keep it up. Now.
I feel like that's the number one thing with the PS5, because if you think about it, here's a meme I'm going to share with you guys. I'll put it right here. Every year that like we're so advanced in technology that our graphics and our processing and everything is like already super good. The generational leap from one console to the other isn't that great. So honestly, for me, that's the biggest takeaway. That's the thing that really makes this console feel next gen, is just how snappy and lightning quick it is. There's no loading, there's no delays, none of that. I could be in bed, I hop out of bed, I press the button, I launch my game, 10-20 seconds later, you know, I'm ready to go, I'm ready to play. That's really it. Everything else doesn't feel super like unique. All of the games right now, especially for PS5, aren't out yet, to be honest. The games that I've been playing that are PS5 exclusives have been the Final Fantasy VII Remake, Demon's Souls, and Returnal. That's the only 3 PS5 games I actually own. I've been playing a lot of older games on PS4. I never had, like I said, I never had a PlayStation console before the PS2, so I've been catching up playing a bit of Persona 5, a little bit of God of War, some Horizon Zero Dawn again. And like I mentioned, if you don't have a PS5, you're not really missing out on much, to be honest, because the console exclusive right now, like a lot of Final Fantasy VII is coming to Epic Games. It'll be on Steam eventually, you know? So a lot of these games will be available on PC or other platforms. And then most of the, I guess, cool games are coming out soon. The next Zero Dawn Horizon Forbidden West, you know, the new Spider-Man. There are more PS5 games coming, and I guess with lockdown and with the way the world is right now, a lot of these games are all being delayed and pushed till next year, 2022. So, to be honest, you're not really missing out on much. And the games that are coming out right now, like Tales of Arise, that's coming on PS5 and PS4. So all the games coming out right now are both backwards compatible with the previous console. So we're really not missing much. But like the graphics are really nice in Demon's Souls. Everything feels really wet. It looks wet, it looks yucky, it looks dirty. You know, when you kill someone, you feel it. And when I say you feel it, the new thing that they're advertising is the haptic feedback in the PS5 controller. When you pull a trigger, there's a resistance. When you swing your sword at a wall and it hits the wall, you feel it in the controllers. Not to mention, like, the controllers feels nice. The DualShock 5 feels good, but the 5 is so good. Like, when it came out, people were thinking it was really fat, but honestly, you get used to it. It's like an Xbox controller similar to that, the thickness, I guess, of the controller, but like the buttons are responsive, everything feels nice. And the haptic thing really does sell it. Astro's Playworld, the free PS5 game that comes built in with all the consoles, really demos it really well. Unfortunately, a lot of games right now don't make full use of this. Final Fantasy VII, to what I remember, doesn't actually use any haptic feedback. Demon Souls does it really well, and Returnal does it exceptionally well as well. When you get shot by an arrow in Demon Souls, you can hear the arrow whiz by your head if it misses you on the sound in the controller, which is really nice. Returnal does it really good. When you shoot a gun, there's like 2 levels to it in the controller. Like right now it's off so you can't see it, but when you're in game, you press it halfway and it shoots. And if you press it all the way, the resistance gets more and more, and then it does like a special move, like a charge attack on a rifle. Something like that. It's just really nice. It adds another sense, you know, you've got visuals, you've got sound, and now you have like the feel. It's more than vibration. I know a lot of people who haven't experienced it say, oh, you know, it's just rumble, it's just vibrations, but you really gotta like play it to feel it, you know what I'm saying? Like, I just hope more games can really use this. Right now, of the 3 games I've played that are next gen, that are PS5, Final Fantasy VII doesn't really use it, and the other 2 games uses it pretty well, to be honest. It's just a breath of fresh air, it's something new. It makes me feel more immersed in my game. Like, when that arrow misses my head, I hear it whiz on the controller sound, and then when it does hit me and the controller shakes a bit, and then the pressure on the buttons increase when you low health, you just feel like you're in the game, you know? I don't know how more to explain that. And in terms of performance, to be honest, I haven't run into any performance issues. One complaint that I had was the sound. Sometimes the sound of the PS5 is really loud. I did a bit of research into it, and people saying it's coil whine, but after watching some YouTube videos, it seems that most PS5s do get a little bit loud on startup. When you first put the disc in and it launches the game, it's a bit loud, but generally when you have your headphones on, you're playing the game and you're fully immersed, you don't really worry about it, it's not too bad. I don't really have anything to compare it to, but I have heard that the PS4 gets really loud, and there's the, you know, running joke that Sony used to be an airline company or whatever, so they have really loud fans and whatnot, but so far it's not really a deal breaker. Sometimes it's loud, sometimes it's not loud. It seems alright. There are like little fixes that I've read that you can take it apart and screw something in a bit tighter so the coil whine disappears. I haven't really fiddled around under the box yet. I'm not really want to do that, but you know, I'm cool with the sound. Sometimes my computer gets loud and the PS5 is like similar, so it's not no big deal for me. I'd say the one downside about having the PS5 out for a year right now is they finally unlocked the M.2 drive on the PS5, so you can buy an external hard drive to increase the storage in your console. The console comes with only 667 terabytes, not terabytes, gigabytes that are able to use. It's a 1 terabyte hard drive, but a bunch of it is used with built-in software and apps. So you really only have about 667 to use, which is really small considering how big current gen games get. And the price of these dedicated M.2 drives, SSDs that you can buy to expand your PS5 storage is really pricey. The price ranges from $300, $400, $500, $600, even $700. I believe the 2 terabyte one is $800. I mean, that's almost the price of the console. I'm pretty sure that's like the price of the console, so it's just very overpriced right now and it's not really worth. All my games so far that I've been purchasing have been physical disc copies, so it hasn't really bothered me too much, but Returnal, when I first purchased it, the initial upgrade was 40 gigs. So 40 gigs on top of what was on the disc to play the game. So that will be an issue down the line, and honestly that's an issue with Xbox, it's an issue with PC games. A lot of games are big now, so that's just unfortunate. That's probably one bummer, but other than that, the PS5's been out for a year. My one's only been about 6 months old maybe. A lot of people are saying the controller, because there is the pattern, so you've got the triangles, squares and circles on the controller. It probably doesn't show up on camera, but it's not smooth white, there's like a resistance to it, because it's got the triangle, square, X and circle buttons engraved into it. It looks really nice. You can't really see it from too far, but from close you can feel it. It has worn off a little bit, I must admit, so it looked a lot nicer when I first got it. And people have been getting their controllers turning yellow. Mine is still white, but I guess I haven't used mine as much. But everything's been holding up real well, so I'd say it's been a successful first year. I'm honestly looking forward when Horizon Forbidden West comes out. When more games come out and more people have access to it, it feels a lot better. Yeah, I feel like this is like a pre-release type year, you know, like even though the console's been out for a year, if you don't have one, you really aren't missing much. You're not missing anything at all, to be honest. And I think things don't really get exciting till, you know, Elden Ring comes out next year as well. More exclusives come out. And then when more people have access to the console, that's when it's truly good, you know. I feel like sometimes people have been talking about multiplayer because people are playing on PS5 as well as playing on PS4. Loading scenes are just horrendous. I played a bit of COD actually, Black Ops 4, it's free. on the PlayStation Plus, and the loading scenes were just ridiculous. I'd be in game a minute literally before a PS4 player would come, and it kind of unbalances the PvP, because in the first minute of the game you just be fighting other people on PS5, and then later on the PS4 players load in, and it just sort of ruins the experience. So I feel like given more time, when more people can get the console and access it, that's when the console will really pop off, I believe. But yeah, that's just how I've had it and how I feel. Those are my impressions after having the console for 6 months. So yeah, happy birthday to the PS5. It's 1 year old, and I'll see you guys in the next video.